All right, welcome y'all to Africans Talk Football TV. Um, how are you guys feeling tonight? Taking over for Cornelius very briefly until he joins us, but I'm joined here by Gabriel, Mike, Solo. How
I'm
you guys
feeling
doing?
lucky today, man.
It's a good
Feeling
week
good.
for games.
Great week.
Very good, very good. Well, I just want to start by saying thank you for everyone who tunes in and continues to tune in. Appreciate your guys' support throughout the season this year, and in past. And yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get into it. First topic we'd like to cover: City versus Newcastle. FA was this weekend. Manchester City beat Newcastle 2-0. Looked like a pretty, convincing win, more or less, after they got the two goals, in my opinion. Bernardo Silva got the brace. Both goals were a little jammy, a little jing bang, but, here we are. Yeah, Solo, what are your thoughts? Thoughts on the game and thoughts on who you guys have next? I think you guys have Chelsea.
Yeah, man. I listen. The game itself was all right. I won't lie. Like I remember I was watching it, and once I saw the first two goals going in, I was like, all right, we just gotta walk this. Get this to the end of it and be fine. I would say Bernardo has just stayed consistently. I'm going to be sad when he probably leaves this summer. There's been rumors of him leaving for the past 2 or 3 summers, and this summer feels like it. It feels like he's looking to go do another challenge, and he just provides that little bit of boost of energy and that guy that's all over the pitch. Um, and so I'm not surprised that in a game like this, when everybody else is kind of like barely there, he shows up. Um, to be honest, like I think when I was watching the game, it was more of Newcastle not playing. They weren't like really trying to come at us the way that I expected they would. I was expecting more from them.
They're tired.
Yeah, they're tired, injury riddled. They were just coming back from injuries. So in a weird way, I was before going into this, I wasn't sure how this would turn out. I thought we would win, but I wasn't sure if they had gotten over that or not. To be honest, the thing that I think it just when I think about City this season, we win our games and for most of our games, but they're not very like it feels like we could lose them at times, and so I won't lie, I'm a little bit worried about some of these the rest of getting to the end of the season. The competition I feel the most confident in actually is the Champions League versus the Premier League and the FA Cup, and so
Okay.
I think for me, we're definitely in this place of after winning a treble, kind of figuring ourselves out again, what we're going to be like. I feel like this summer window, the transfer window, is when whatever Pep is cooking, acquisitions, new players will come to fruition. He's going to get the other pieces he needs, and so we'll see then. But yeah, the game itself was just a typical just win of a game, nothing too special. Jammy goals, like you said. I'll be honest, I feel like I think when I was watching it, I just remember at a point just being like just slumping in. I was like, all right, hurry up and let's wrap it up. Let's get this win and call it a day. Because those
Yeah.
games where you're just like, yeah, we're winning this. It's just not.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so I was just like, okay. And once it was done, took my nap. It was great. Um, so that's kind of how that game was. I won't lie, this ongoing thing with Holland. I don't know if y'all saw recently, but it was like Jude Bellingham and Tchouaméni. They were having this
Yeah,
conversation about Holland versus Mbappe. Well, it's not
Wait,
confirmed.
do you think they were talking about them?
I can't say for sure. It's not. It's bleeped
it
out.
is. Come on.
Yeah, it's like if it is, I can.
If it wasn't,
better
I
than
feel like
before.
they wouldn't have bleeped it out.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
And I
not.
think
Yeah.
like Jude, I respect it. Jude does not want Mbappe to pull up and take away his shine. He's like, I'm trying to find ways to push that man out. But already we're seeing the locker room drama developing there. And the man hasn't even showed up. So I think for me, even in his remarks of saying that Holland is better than Mbappe, the thing that I agree in terms of some aspects, but one of the things that Mbappe has over Haaland, and it's hard to say this because he's been playing in the best team in the worst league for a while now, but he's consistent. And Haaland has had drops where if he's not getting a goal pass to him in at least in somewhat of advantageous position, he hasn't been able to score it the way that he did last year. And it's crazy to say that because he is still, I think, the league scorer for this year. And so I don't know what's going on with him. I feel like they got to tune up the robot. They got to get some oil or something because he hasn't been like scoring the way that I expected him to.
Do you think he's been figured out?
A little bit, in the sense that I think Premier League defenders have figured out that, okay, he's stronger than you expect, so you need to stay firm and you need to just really like kind of shepherd him away from the goal. Don't try to don't give him any space, because there were a lot of times especially at the beginning of last year, where I was like, y'all, this is a 6 foot whatever tall dude that's clearly knocking people down left and right. You need to like stay on him, but some of these defenders were just lax. And in this one now, I think they're marking him closer. They're they're marking him closer. They're making sure that they keep him like away from any type of like open runs. And so he needs to figure something out. I do think he's shown a little bit of improvement in his link up play, better than even last year. But yeah, this is definitely a growing season for him, which is crazy again to think, because he's still a league scorer.
Yeah, right. This is technically his sophomore slump.
Exactly. Yep, you got it right. And so that's why it was funny when that conversation was coming up, where I was like, at this point in time, I could see why people say that Mbappe is better, and I can actually agree with that. But I do think that once he gets over this and figures out what his next couple moves are, things will open up for him. And also Doku, I think Doku was getting back into some a better form than he has been. He was kind of he's been a letdown a little bit since that Brentford game. But I think in this game he started to feel a little bit more confident. So I'm actually feeling better about him for next year than this year. But this is definitely a transition year for us. We'll still be in the competitions, but I think teams are right to say they're smelling blood right now, because we're not as bulletproof as we were before, and even in other years when we were in title challenges.
So as a City fan, how important is the FA Cup to you guys? I know you guys are probably trying to win it, but like,
yeah,
after that draw with Real Madrid, we're gonna talk more about that later. But like, you might not have a lot of chances. Arsenal is, neck and neck with you guys. So
yeah, it would be crazy to think that after a treble-winning season to go into a trophyless season. I would be shocked to see that happen. I feel like the FA Cup is weird for us because it's the trophy, I think, besides the Champions League, that we've won the least. The domestic trophy we've won the least. So we've obviously did great in the Carabao Cup, done great in the Premier League, but the FA Cup for some reason has been something that we haven't figured out as much. And so it's hard. I think it matters depending on who the competition is. If we end up going up against a United again, I mean, we're going up against Chelsea, then there's this kind of like feeling of wanting to show up against our big six rivals but as a fan personally, my eyes are on the Champions League.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
My eyes are on the Champions League. I'm like, I want that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I completely understand, sir. I want it too.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all, man, that's crazy to think that after all these years, because y'all are hot right now too, honestly, and even in the Champions League. But Bayern, and yes, young Trini, you're right. This is the one thing that's been missing for most of the season, besides not most of the season, but a good amount of the season, is Jack Grealish. The control that we had is not there without him. The just kind of like even the tracking back and the defensive like run, the defensive play that he would have is gone. And so when he comes back, I think we'll see. I think people will understand why he was so important for our title charge last year. Even if we don't end up winning some of these trophies,
Really?
yeah, we need.
Do you know how long he's out?
I
He's
think he's
back now.
yeah, he should be coming
He's
back.
back.
This was his last week out. Yeah, so he should be coming back in the next.
He wasn't on the bench for Newcastle. I thought he was.
He
I could be
was,
wrong.
but I think they just
Okay,
rested.
okay.
Because,
Yeah, okay.
he could be
I saw
starting.
him on the bench though. Mm.
He'll be back for Arsenal, but we'll see him in
course.
Brighton for sure.
I hope he's back. We need that.
Look at Mike.
We need a
the
full
hater.
lineup,
The
man. We need
hater.
a full lineup.
Well,
We need a
the
full
strongest
lineup.
11 you can put out
Yeah,
with all
well,
these
we'll
hot
let-
O's y'all dropping. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. After we talk about Chelsea and Leicester, we can get into we can preview what City and Chelsea would look like. But
yeah,
moving on, Chelsea played Leicester City in the FA Cup. Chelsea was up 2-0 in the first half, cruising. Honestly, I kind of stopped watching the game after that point just because I felt as if you guys were in pretty firm control for the most
Mhm.
part. I think the first goal was a mistake. Was that Disasi?
Mhm.
And then the second goal happens, and then here you are.
that's a
And then here
Puskas.
you are. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, the bend on the ball was crazy. It was a great finish. I mean, Robert
Side
Sanchez
netting, everything.
had no chance of getting it.
Zero.
Shout out Robert Sanchez. But Mike, thoughts on the Leicester City game?
So if you're a Chelsea fan, I feel like I can just say the Bakayoko versus Watford game. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I can say Ziyech versus Zagreb. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those two games that I just mentioned, those players had the worst games. This game is the Raheem Sterling game. Raheem Sterling against Leicester. I mean, as a team, I mean, we're just everywhere. Like the lineup hasn't been the same for a while now. Too many injuries. We're still trying to figure out how to combine some of these guys. And Raheem Sterling is the one with the most experience. So naturally he's gonna play, even if he's going through a tough time. I get it why he's playing him. I think for the most part, we had a pretty good game. First half could have done better, should have been at least 3-4. But it's whatever. We go into the second half. Instead of building on that, we kind of just start doing what we do every game. Kind of playing timid, kind of scared, like, oh, we got to protect the lead. We got to protect the lead. And then to go. I had a feeling. I swear I had a feeling this game wasn't over. Right when the first one went in, I was like, okay, here we go. It's another one, and then it's 2-2. But with all that being said, this was the game that, gives you hope. The young guys we've brought in, it gives you hope. Great finish combination with what do you call it? Palmer and Chukwemeka.
True.
And then you have a banger by Nani. Like this gives you hope, This makes you feel like, okay, at least these guys might have something, But overall, we're going back to Wembley. This time it's against City. Last time we met them in the FA Cup in the semis, we're able to take care of business. I'm hoping, it's different this time. We do something different, but I don't know, man. Like this was a good win for us, even though it's against Leicester. But like I said, I'll take the wins. I need us to build on the wins, get them their confidence up. Like let's just win. That's all I care. Like Gabriel said last time, I don't care how you get the result. Get the result. And that's what we did. And I can't really complain about it. Poch said some things at the end, which, I agree with him a lot because I can tell he's feeling the pressure from the fans. Like he's really feeling the pressure. He's telling everybody, calm down. This is a new Chelsea. This is not the same guys, trying to kind of bring reality back in for everybody.
Right.
But he can feel it. He's like, oh, you guys wanted a trip to Wembley. We're going to Wembley again. But then again, it's a semis. It's not a final. It's a semifinal. The goal is to always get to the final. And when we get there, we got to take care of business. So I'm happy with the win. But this game was the Sterling versus Leicester game for me. Like, I will never forget this game.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, Gabriel.
Hmm.
I was just gonna say in regards to that, Mike. I agree. I think that this wasn't Sterling's best game. A few others, not just him. But I mean, he obviously had, two very big moments in the game where it was, everyone was
Yeah,
watching the penalty and the free kick. The free
It was
kick
a
was
poor.
close.
It was a
Yeah.
poor PK
Yeah.
though. The PK was like actually terrible.
yeah.
It was
PK?
so bad. Yes.
Oh yeah, the
it
PK was bad.
It was bad, man.
Like
It
no
was bad.
placement. He didn't. I don't think he even picked where he was going. He was just going.
Yeah, he just ran up there.
and hope. It went
You
in.
can tell he's like low on confidence, especially.
Oh, absolutely, he is. He
and
is.
the England call ups, all of that.
I
just
think it's
recently
messing with him.
happened.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the year, like when the season first started, it felt as if like, here he is. He has like this new slate this year with Chelsea. Was playing well. I mean, at the beginning of the season, and then the first round of international call-ups happen. He doesn't get picked, and then you see him kind of go back into more or less kind of like what we've been seeing as of late.
Recently,
And here he is now. It just is like, wow. Like, I mean, I don't know. I know that the team that was picked has been called. It's been out for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but I mean, you still have a last
Right.
chance to make it. You have a couple of months, but I don't know if he's gonna include him.
Yeah, I mean, at this,
I
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see from his perspective, especially with Southgate being the manager. Like, it may not.
My beef though. Like, I get it why he's not calling him, but if you're gonna call guys like Rashford, you're gonna call guys like Maguire, even Jordan Henderson. Sterling doesn't get that. He doesn't even at least get that. Like, I don't get it.
Over who? Because Ali Watkins has to go. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, Saka has to go.
Saka
has
there.
to go over Rashford.
Well, I guess he called. What'd you call it? Cole Palmer too.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer has to go. Cole Palmer's been balling. I'm sorry.
Odin is also balling. So I mean,
Odin
it's hard. But
Cold Palmer, they call him.
Still have a chance to finish off the season, but
and Foden for Southgate is an attacker. He's not a midfielder. He doesn't look at him that way. So he's strictly an attacker. So,
even Bowen is not getting a look. So
right.
So I thought he was gone.
Did Bowen get called up?
I'm pretty sure he got called up. I mean, he deserves to get called up.
He does deserve. If he wasn't, I would be surprised.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know what he has to do.
He didn't get called up. I'm looking at it right now. I don't see him on here.
Wow. Who got called up? Who were the England attackers?
The attackers are. Oh no, my bad. I didn't see his name. He's on there. West Ham United. Sure.
Yeah, I was about to say he has to.
Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
No way.
That was.
Okay, so that is one of the. Okay.
That's a weird one.
Anthony Gordon. He should have been called up. I hate to make this about United, but if Kobe Mainoo doesn't get called up, then you can't justify calling this guy up. There's no way.
No, but Gordon's been playing for a while though. Like Everton, but he's Newcastle.
He can go to the U21s. You telling me he can't go to the U21?
I don't get the Gordon call up
for the Euros, or are these call ups for just
Euros.
Game?
These are for Euros.
They're for Euros, yeah.
But the U21s are all getting called up too. So who would you drop for Anthony Gordon? Don't tell me Raheem Sterling. Anthony Gordon's been better than Raheem Sterling.
Right now, this season, he is. Yeah, no, Anthony Gordon has been good.
It's Madison's going, right?
Yeah, Madison got
Madison.
Madison's going. Yeah, bro. I feel like now that
Ivan Toney's going.
Ivan Toney's going. Yep.
Ivan Toney's going.
Yeah, I'll probably.
So I guess at that point everyone's been called.
No, there's definitely someone better than Anthony Gordon. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think who.
I'm trying to
Jadon Sancho.
I mean,
wow,
he has been doing well in Dortmund. That's a shout.
yeah, bro.
I don't think he's coming back. I I think that ship has sailed. Southgate, maybe under the next manager. I'm all for Sancho coming back into the national team. But anyway,
All right.
yeah, man. Moving on from that, Young Trini says I'm taking Sterling over Gordon.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. What are we arguing about here? I don't
I don't
see.
even know what. Like that's what
I
I'm saying.
really-
Gordon is like
I really can't. I can't
I
justify taking Sterling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sterling.
see
I mean,
Gordon?
the only reason I take Sterling because I mean Rashford hasn't been playing well.
That's
But he's
fair.
going.
Yeah, so
Rashford,
They're both of the same
MBE
level,
Mike, MBE Mike.
But you're taking
right,
one
you're
guy
right.
who is
He's going.
guy
He's
who's
going
good
every
weight.
single time.
Mhm.
yeah, one guy who is. I mean, if Tammy Abraham was healthy, we'll see. I mean, he's
Oh,
not
God.
even in the
Come
mix.
Sammy, I'll be looking to Nigeria right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sterling.
I mean-
That's the only reason. Yeah, the young Trini's right because like the only reason why
Yeah,
Sterling
exactly.
was called up this season is because of his past, like how he's done well for England. But
Exactly.
in this season though, like he's a confidence player and his confidence has been low and he's really hard to get like I don't know. Sometimes I think about like what did Pep say to him to get him into a position where he was like,
No, it was the guys around him.
yeah, and that's fair.
Guys around him made it easier on him.
Yeah, I think
he didn't have to be the
main
guy.
one. Yeah,
He didn't have to be the guy. Exactly.
he's
But that's why,
like number 4 or number 3, number 4 on the squad, not the main one. He needs to be.
I mean, you've had Aguero, you've had Kevin De Bruyne, Silva. You've all had these guys that were like
he was still
pulling the
missing.
strings, and all he had to do was
let's be
there.
real. He was still missing.
him.
Let's be real.
Exactly.
I'll tell
he
you,
was getting chances.
still missing.
Sterling and Jesus have like they got blood on their hands
Don't
for all
even
the
get me started.
misses that De Bruyne would have gotten the assist record multiple times if it wasn't for Sterling and Jesus.
Yeah.
There were so many times where I saw passes from him, and it would always fall to Sterling, and I just think to myself like, bro, you got this. Just one. Just give it a little.
I've had a Sterling agenda since he went to City. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
But I can't keep it up because he's at Chelsea now. But I don't
that's the
think
thing.
he's that good. Like I really don't.
Listen, him and Jesus, you're right, bro. Don't even get me started on Jesus. Do not even get me started.
Yeah, man. You benefit by being around great players. I mean, not saying that they didn't, fulfill their roles. Sterling was a useful player. I just felt as if him coming to Chelsea, like he wasn't what I felt like Chelsea needed. Nor did I think he was a player that could really shoulder the responsibility of kind of being what this team needs. I never thought that was the case with Sterling. But at the same time, wow, that's crazy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a stat for you. There's a stat for. I bet you, 120.
Stop.
One of those
Look at misses, bro.
are probably tap-ins.
Yeah, I agree.
100.
I agree.
Oh yeah, 121 of those.
Probably 50 of those are probably tap in.
Nah,
the other 10. Nah, it's more than
Sterling has some goals. Sterling has some goals.
He does have some goals, but
Sterling doesn't take
one
penalties.
season where he was scoring, and he actually earned us like I think 16 points from his goals alone. Where it was like he's kept scoring at the end.
Oh yeah, that one season.
Everybody
was calling him the best English player. I remember that.
Yeah. That was that season, and then after that,
I didn't buy that season even. Like I wasn't even impressed because it's like,
yeah.
But anyways, I just think now that I've thought about it, we've spoken about it. Yeah, he probably don't deserve that call up right now, but I feel like he does have some credit in the bank, and at least he should get the benefit of the doubt. But
yeah,
it is what it is, man. Some guys are just playing better that you just can't ignore.
And to your point, though, the England squad is better than the Chelsea squad is right now. He's going to be surrounded by some great.
Absolutely.
And again, it does kind of into that argument of him being better when he has better people around him. He probably does show up in there easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that like the manager of England is you're taking a player that has no like he has no shot of playing. Like
Yeah.
no shot whatsoever. And it's like
I
I
agree with
don't
that
know.
point. Yeah. You could
You
have
know,
an experienced guy, even if he's on the bench.
yeah, on the locker
Yeah.
and I hear you. Like what you're saying
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like when you look around the locker room at that point, it's like some of these guys are not even having good seasons. And
Yeah.
it's like what makes me different from especially considering the last Euro, I mean, we were in the position that we were in because of not because Harry Kane was scoring, is because Sterling was
Raheem.
scoring. But
Yeah.
here we
Pressure.
are here we are 2 years later. He doesn't even look like he's in the mix.
Yeah.
Which is very sad. But um moving on, Coventry played Wolves. That game I thought was interesting. Wolves was ahead from what I had saw in the beginning. And then I guess I don't know what happened
Yeah.
afterwards. But yeah, they were knocked out by Coventry. Which is great for Coventry.
Yeah.
Um
It's great for United. Y'all about to go up against Coventry now.
great for United. It's great for United.
We
I
hope,
just,
right?
just real quickly, yeah, seriously. Well, real quickly though, like with Wolves, Wolves was a team until like teams like Aston Villa and Newcastle, they have that history. But like a few years ago, I felt like they were kind of they weren't like who they are now.
Yeah. Okay.
And and at that time, I thought Wolves was really one of those teams that was really gonna step up and take that spot.
Yeah.
But to be very honest with you, man, like from manager to manager, they just seem as if like I don't know. You guys are a team that just seems as if like they're never gonna figure it out, and like it'll just be a matter of time until someone comes in and just takes their spot. In my opinion.
Yeah, but when you look at a team like Wolves, who's had a history of getting relegated, coming back, getting relegated, like for them, staying in the Prem is like their goal.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
for them to even hold on to a guy like Neto, the only reason Neto is there is because he gets injured all the time. So it's like he's not available to sell him anyways.
Yeah.
But like I know exactly what you're saying. They've been in positions where you thought, oh, maybe the next year will be the jump.
Yeah.
And then it just, dissolves. They sell guys, just injuries, fire a guy. And I agree
Yeah.
with you. I mean, what a game that game was, though. Like, you have to give it up to Coventry. Like, they're playing with house money. Like, no expectations,
Yeah.
have no fear. And when a team is playing like that, that is when they are like really dangerous. Like, they're not even supposed to be there. So it's like, shoot, if we lose. But we're gonna go out there and give it everything we got. And it could be a tricky game for United if they let it go too long. But I think
Wolves,
it's a good story. Every season you have this, Cinderella story in the FA Cup. Every year it happens, most of the time. And I think last season was what, Fulham?
It was
Fulham
us.
made a run. It
Fulham
was,
super team.
yeah. Every year you have that one team, but
Yeah.
I believe United should take care of them easily. But we'll see.
Wolves ran out of Portuguese players to buy. That's really what happened. They were just like,
Yeah.
we need. They were just raiding the Portuguese national team at some point,
Yeah.
and then now
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
because of their agent. There's a Jorge Mendes. He had all the Portuguese players, and he was sending them there.
And
yeah,
the manager back then too. What was his name?
Yeah, the
you
before
know something.
Nuno, and
Yeah.
then
Nuno,
even the
yeah.
guy who came,
After him.
after him, I think he was like Portuguese too.
Yeah.
Was Marco Silva? No, that's Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marco Silva.
I know.
But, yeah, man.
I can't remember his name though.
Yeah. But yeah, Coventry won, which obviously they advanced to the next round of the FA Cups, and so did Manchester United.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Thoughts on what's his name though? Ait Nouri. What do you guys think of that guy?
I like him.
What was his left back?
Yeah, Yasser actually put me onto him. He's pretty good. I like him. Can he make a top 16?
I don't think so. I've been watching him
On
for
the
the
bench,
last
he
2 years,
could.
and you can
Yeah,
see his confidence going up.
yeah,
But I feel like we've seen these type of players before. Like
yeah.
they look good. Remember Doherty that went to
Doherty. Yeah, yeah,
Doherty
yeah.
went.
Ah,
Remember, everybody was like, "Oh, is he the best right back in the league? Is he the best right
yeah,
back?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Went
He
to
wasn't.
Tottenham and flopped. Like
Doherty.
we've seen those guys, man. We've seen. I like him a lot. I like his confidence where it's going, but like if he makes that jump, I don't know if he can. I don't know. I might be
Yeah,
wrong though. I really might be wrong, but I think there's something there though. I think there's something there.
yeah, yeah, man. We'll see. Good, definitely a good player. But
Mhm.
yeah, Liverpool, Manchester United advanced to the next round of the FA Cups. I told you guys last year. You know, last episode. I'm sorry. Liverpool thought. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
gonna do this.
That that's what.
They
But here we
thought.
are, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one time for Klopp though.
We're gonna do this.
You know what I'm saying?
What do they call it? Mentality monsters? What did they
Yeah,
say?
the mentality monsters.
Monsters. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, young Trinity, man. Definitely, bro. Like, I mean, what can I say? It felt good to knock uh to knock Liverpool out. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, I know a lot of people probably thought that we weren't gonna be able to get the job done, but um, you know, the FA Cup game was one of the few games that I've watched this season and thought to myself, wow, like, we showed a lot of character in that game, and I think that obviously, we scored first. We had opportunities to win the game and in the 90 minutes, but we weren't clinical and in moments that would have resulted in the game ending. But the fact that we were able to show resilience, especially after going back down a goal in extra time, I thought was huge and immense. I mean, hats off to Anthony for even getting that goal, right footed to even send it into overtime. I mean, hey, some say that he doesn't have a right foot. What can I
He's
say?
got a
Great
half star
finish.
weak foot. He got a half star weak foot and made that. I was
Yeah,
like, showed it.
made it.
Don't
Man,
forget,
Virgil.
yeah, Virgil Meg and
Yeah,
the
I
whiff
mean,
completely missed the ball.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely. It started with that. Rashford could have ended the game in the 90 minutes, but he missed his goal. Hats off to McTominay for taking his goal. I thought that he um, did a good job of, just working throughout the game, especially going the distance. It's funny. Mike talked about last game. I think Chelsea's last FA Cup game. Like, questioning on like you telling me some of these guys can't go the distance, and
They
there's a
are
few of our
busting. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And I mean, I gotta give credit to. I know he hasn't been playing well. The first person I just want to give credit to is Bruno Fernandez. My God, you talk about real showing real leadership. Played at center back, right back. He was on the wing. He played where he usually played. He was everywhere. He was at fault for the goal that Salah scored. I think that, to be very honest with you, there's a level of entitlement with him that has to be addressed, and he just needs
Yeah.
to be humbled because, like, you're costing us, these goals because you're banking on the ref, like,
To give you a
going back
foul.
to
Yeah.
going back to VAR and like recalling this, like this call. And sometimes it's just like, that's crazy. I understand we're at home, but like, play the game and like.
Mhm.
But he was able to bounce back, and really show his leadership throughout the game. Rashford, same thing. Not really a great moment. Was able to bounce back from that and tie the game up at 3-3. Um, And then
Speak on.
lastly,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
lastly, I just wanted to say I thought before I get to the goal scorer, I thought Garnacho was amazing. I thought that he worked his
Yep.
tail off. I thought that he wasn't involved in almost every goal that happened. He
Hmm.
was involved in some way. He was also involved in the last Premier League game that we had to win the two the two penalties. I think that might have been a game ago, but yeah, man, one of the bright spots for us going forward. And lastly, I mean, shout out to Ahmad, free Ahmad, for him to. You talk about a proper professional, man. Some guy who hasn't been playing a lot. He was supposed
Hmm.
to go out on loan at the beginning of the year, and then he got hurt in preseason, which blocked him from. He wasn't healthy enough to go out on loan. For him to come back, not complain like some of these players that we've had, complain like for him to come in and score a goal like that, man, to be involved in a match like that was amazing. And I hope he gets his opportunities going forward because I think that we have a solid player in Ahmad, 100%. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
so it's just a matter of just
Yeah. Speak
giving,
on McTominay, man. I feel like
yeah,
this season you've had a couple of standouts. Garnacho, um,
yeah,
Hoyland has been good for you guys. And then I would
yeah,
say McTominay's had some big moments for you guys.
for
Speak on him.
sure.
Like how I know everybody on this pod knows how you feel about him.
No, I mean,
Lots
I
Your
think
view changed a little bit. Like,
no, because even in those moments, like I acknowledge like where he does well. He's an
mhm,
impact player for us. I think he's someone that in a game like this, he can come in and kind of do the dirty work, if you will.
mhm.
Um, he's always a threat going forward, and I think in and around the box is like where he's best. My only problem with him is that we have this idea, or I guess this way that we want to play, and you as a midfielder, there's a lot of things that you fundamentally don't do well. Like you don't look to be an option in midfield. Whereas, we games are won and lost in the middle of the field. So, like, if you have one of the three midfielders who is just running away from the ball always, like, never wants to be an option, then yeah, that's tough. Like, I can't always find the ball for you over the top for you to get your head on, or I don't know, like But I mean, I think that he does a good job of fighting. His goal is again jamming. Comes from a deflection, comes in there. There's a few guys in our front three that if the ball is in between me and you, I don't think that some of our attackers will get in there. So the fact that he was able to get it, and I mean, good, but I think McTominay is having a good season. Definitely his best season. Numbers wise, he's getting goals, he's getting assists. He's making an impact on the team. I think for us, if if we can be the team that I believe we can be, which is a team that's consistently fighting for the best team in England, I think he's the best coming off the bench. I don't at this point. I'm past the point of like I don't think he needs to be sold. I think that he's a Manchester United player. I've accepted that. The club has told me that. They've made it very clear he's not going anywhere. So
Mhm.
like I'm cool with
Yeah.
that. But like for him to start every game, like it can't happen. The only way that he'd be able to start is if him or Bruno sit out, which Bruno's not sitting out. So I
So
mean
I
hats off to him.
actually thought about this when I was watching the game. So we all know, McTominay was a striker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you think that because he started his career as a striker, he has a I mean, he's been playing midfield for some time now, but do you think he still has those instincts of, just
For
moving up
sure.
the field?
He's a
'Cause
box
Yeah, yeah.
scratch. Like he's such
Yeah.
a you'll just like part of why I think he gets some of his goals is because he hides for a bit and just like you kind of forget that he's even
Yeah.
there, and then randomly he'll just pop up and be like, oop, goal, oop,
Yeah,
assist. He
he,
got a
he
goal
just
in
wants
this.
to get closer to goal. I get that. He just wants to get closer to goal, but you got to understand, like, when you look at the makeup of our team, specifically in our midfield, like, Casemiro is not someone who's going to drive the ball and advance the ball, and he's not
Yeah,
someone who's gonna help us, break lines in that way. Bruno is someone. I mean, I think Jasper sent the video, right? Like, even in like the ball comes in and he just tries this pass that's just like, like he's like the opposite of a ball magnet. He just repels the ball. He doesn't. He just wants to be like, on defense. But no, I think to your point, Mike, like he started out as an attacker, which is why I think that he looks better. When you think of McTominay's best moments, they're always in and around the box, right? It's never like, oh, McTominay had this great, we had this great build up and McTominay was a part of it. No, it's always McTominay scored this nice goal, or he was a part of, something that's happening in the attacking third. My thing is it's been how many years? You've been here since Jose. Since Jose. You don't have any. You haven't gotten. You're in these rondos every day. You haven't fundamentally gotten better at all. Like, come on, man.
yeah. That's why I didn't want to use it as an excuse. But sometimes natural instincts just tends to die hard. But
I think
no, yeah, even
Mason Mount came.
that's crazy.
Mason Mount came on.
Man.
And you talk about get thrown into the fire. I think it was a good moment, like for Mason Mount, to be very honest with you, to see
Yeah,
that.
I'm not gonna lie, it's good to see him back, man.
Yeah,
Good
to
him
see the
back.
atmosphere like that, to see the way that the game went. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that this was a good, like, this is what it's gonna be like. So
This was a huge win, bro.
yeah, it was a huge win for us and
Yeah,
for a
this
lot
is
of the.
cheating. There was one.
But bro, it's just, but see, here's the thing. I'm glad that we got this going into the international break.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of like, what are we gonna do with this win? Is it just another like, just flash in the
Gotta
pan,
make
like,
it
oh,
to
you know what I'm
gotta make
saying,
it
or
yeah.
yeah,
You're
this could be the
right.
start of, yeah. So it just depends on how we come back against Brentford, but yeah, I was very happy about, Klopp will never ever go back to Wembley. I don't think that,
Yeah.
How
any life
dramatic
will
was
happen.
it for it to be
No,
United and then Klopp's
yeah,
FPL career? That's crazy.
yeah, all of them, and then it's just we'll see. We'll see who takes over for Liverpool next year, but them guys in Merseyside better hope that this isn't it. You remember the
Yeah,
last year for the Patriots with Tom Brady and them, and then you remember
yeah,
what they look like the year after. Okay, I'm just
yeah.
saying, this is just
Knowing Liverpool, they haven't really missed with their managers like in recent time. Like
who do they
maybe
have before Klopp?
Benitez.
Before Klopp, they did. Who do they have before Klopp?
Oh, they
Brendan
had
Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers. Got him close. Got him close.
Got him close.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No,
For me, like
seriously though, Jurgen Klopp, man. Yeah, shout out to Jurgen. That was the last. Those last
speaking of
memories he
your,
has.
did you guys see the interview when the
Yeah,
guy?
I thought
Go ahead. Go
that's
ahead.
that. Hold on, man. I got the perfect sound for that.
Is unacceptable. Is
Solo,
unacceptable.
did you see that? Did you see the interview?
I did not. What happened?
So one of the reporters was like asking him how his team is pretty much asking him, you guys are mentality monsters. What happened? Because clearly at the end you could see Liverpool was visibly tired.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah.
So the reporter was asking him, "Oh, I thought this was the type of games you guys love. What happened?"
Yeah.
And Klopp pretty much told him that I can see that you're not in shape. I'm not going to let you get a nerve out of me. And he just ended the interview and walked away. Yeah, it's on Twitter. I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it.
I'll have to look that up. Nah,
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? That's crazy.
He's always been kind of a sore loser. Whenever he loses,
Oh, yeah,
like,
I agree.
attacking especially, his post game interviews. He turns into Bruno Fernandes. He just starts to cry. You don't get a.
I love Klopp, but the first time I was like, "Yo, this guy is just okay. Like, get over it." I remember COVID. Remember, he had that rant about the game time. Why are we playing first?
The game
That was
time.
when I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like,
Yeah.
you guys are professional soccer players. I get it. You play a lot of games, but like, come on, bro.
Game
His
time.
thing is like the grass is too long. He
And,
said
you
the
know, he
wall
has a
is too
point, but it's
deep.
just sometimes it just gets too much.
Yeah.
Like
It,
when
it was
he
too
talks
too
about these
watered.
things, yeah, when after you lose, you know, like you don't talk about them really a lot until you lose, and then it's kind of like blaming something else. But like he's good at that though. He always protects his guys. He's not gonna put them
Yeah.
out to be like, oh, they weren't good. No, he'll just take it somewhere else.
If I was the thing is like looking at that game from Liverpool's side, it's crazy because they went up twice and lost the lead twice. And so there was a couple of things that really stood out. One, the gap between United's front and their back four is crazy. When
Yeah.
there was a screenshot in the 31st minute where I was like, where did y'all not have midfielders? Like where'd the team go? And I was confused by that. But what the thing is with Liverpool, where it was, and I think this part of it is on him too. Some of the substitutions made no sense. He took Salah off on a game like that,
Yeah,
where you see
yeah,
that
I agree.
he didn't respect his opponent as much as he should have. And this before an international break, so you really don't have to worry about like a game coming up.
You know why though? It was
Uh,
because of that Chelsea game, getting all the
Yeah.
credit. Oh, you played all these young guys, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Like,
Bro, playing Cody Gakpo just destroyed their momentum. I remember as soon as he got up there, I was like, "What are you?" This dude didn't do anything.
you
for
know
that
who
team.
should have got off? Nunez.
Yeah,
Mm.
Nunez.
That Rashford goal. What
Yeah.
was? I mean, it was just like, are you trying to get to him or you're just following him?
It was weird because like this definitely wasn't a game that this is a game that was hard fought from both sides, but it was
It
just
was a
some
great
decisions.
game.
Yeah,
game.
and there were some decisions that were made in terms of substitutions from Klopp that I think ultimately made the mistakes happen, and created the conditions where United, when they're in a position where they don't have much to fight for at this point. This competition is the best competition that they're in right now. So to
It's
not
the only one.
yeah, it's like to not respect that and not to keep your best players on to make sure you get the game out or finish the game out, I think was just ultimately the decision that messed up. Also, as much as Trent has his defensive errors, this was a game that was calling out for Trent in terms of I think they would have gotten 2-3 more goals at the beginning or towards the middle.
yeah.
It was definitely like it was missing his presence. And I think again, United capitalized on it. United were just really you could just tell like there was this thing in their mind, and it might be because it's a rival match.
They smelled blood. They called Liverpool's bullshit. They
Yeah.
just knew we just got to keep playing. We just got to
Yeah.
keep playing. We just got to keep
Exactly. And
playing.
that's what it was
Just
to me.
knew. They just
Because
knew.
the longer we kept it, that's when I
Exactly.
felt more confident. Because
Mhm.
you see, Klopp didn't put in. Remember the young guys, the
Mhm.
the Clarks and the Dans and the you know what I'm saying? Like, where were those guys? You didn't put those guys in. And I'm looking at it right now, and this tells you where the trust was in some of these players. Because he knew, I knew for a fact that like you're not gonna throw any of these kids on, not at Old
No.
Trafford, not in a game like this. You're not gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Mhm.
100%. If not, we would have eaten them up. 72nd minute, Harvey Elliott comes on, regular first team player.
Yeah. Mhm.
Number 76th minute, Connor Bradley comes on.
Yeah.
This season, regular first
Yeah.
team player. 77th minute, Cody Gakpo comes on.
Great. Yeah. Mhm.
You know, international player. You know,
Yeah.
they're playing. Here we go. Next sub wasn't made for the is half an hour later. 101st minute, Simicas. 114. They put in Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Because you
Yeah.
knew for a fact, and I loved it because remember when they beat, was it Chelsea?
Yeah. Carabao Cup
Yeah, it was
final.
they're winning. You can't win with kids. Look at all these kids, and
Mhm.
where are the kids? Where are the
Exactly.
kids? We have a kid who's dragging around your left back all around Old Trafford. You haven't
Dude,
been able to do anything with him.
and I said it when they beat us. Klopp did not respect us, and Poch took the bait. He took the bait in the Carabao Cup. He's like, oh, he's putting on young guys. The guys I bring in are still going to be able to, play at a higher level. But no, you don't do that at that time. And shout out to Eric Ten Hag, man. Some of his subs at the time, I was just like, man, I can't believe he's taking this guy off. I can't believe he's taking this guy off.
Yeah.
It all made sense. I mean, Anthony playing left back. Have you guys seen the video? He was mad about playing left back.
Yeah, he was.
To be honest, Anthony, you might have to start looking at left back a little bit more. Like he can't defend like that, but like I think he did a job. Like he did a pretty decent job
for the amount of time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the final thing I would say though is like Liverpool is missing Trent. They are missing Trent.
And heavy
because that whole right side is just not flowing. You have what Gomez. Gomez can't do what Trent does. He tries, but he can't do that.
Nah.
When you actually meet a formidable like opponent that can actually play with you, you're not going to be doing what you did in that Chelsea game.
Nah.
Like if you're a good manager, Chelsea we're frauds right now. You got to press us.
Yeah.
He knows if he press United too hard, they're going to get beat. And that's exactly what happened. Because in the end, they were just pushing. And United was like, nope, we got the pace. We can actually finish, And they paid for it.
Yeah, man. Interesting, though. We obviously have Coventry for the semifinals of the FA Cup. I mean, to be very honest with you, I don't see any chance that Coventry beats us at Old Trafford.
If they do,
I am 100% sure. If they do,
brother, what's that?
Yeah, I mean, no. If they beat us at home, definitely, I think we deserve everything that comes with that. But yeah, I'm already looking past that. I'll see you guys at Wembley in the FA Cup. Hopefully, you guys are able to take. Hopefully, Mike, I would love to see you in the final. I would love to see you in a final.
Chelsea United final. It's been a minute. See that
Chelsea United final. Yeah, I mean, on both. Yeah, just like talk about how the mighty have fallen. The last time Chelsea United were in the final, I believe it was the
FA Cup, right?
Yeah, I would say FA Cup
I would
final.
say FA Cup. Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, I think we won that year.
No, we beat you guys. I think 1-0 Drogba or something like that. It's been a while.
Jeez.
Okay.
Talking about from the final of the Champions League.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it was Drogba
final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I feel like we
Champions League. Yeah, we've met a couple of times in Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that 2008, that was the last.
Yeah.
That was like, well, not for me, but
big
this was the last final. But like the fact that in 2008, that's where y'all were meeting each other. Now, I mean, it's
crazy.
It's crazy. Time moves.
Yeah,
But anyways, man, I think we can do a job on City. They haven't beaten us this year, so I think you guys you're the better team, and the pressure's on you to beat us this game.
For sure.
To be honest, I think the pressure's on you guys to win this game.
They have to.
Yeah.
The Chelsea has gotten our number this whole season. I don't know exactly where it is because there was that first game where it was 1-1, so they were able to hold us from scoring. Then there was a next game where they were able to match our scoring 4-4. And so it's like we can't go one way or the other with Chelsea. And it reminds me of like that year when Tuchel was there and
we met 3 times before the final.
Yeah, beat us 3 times. Where I was like, what? There's something about Chelsea, the history of Chelsea versus City in the past, at least 5 or so, 5-10 years, where when we meet them in a final or in a cup competition, it's just it's not easy. And Haaland hasn't scored yet, I think, against y'all this season, and
he scored in the 4-4 game.
Oh, he did. Okay,
he scored a PK, and then I think like a tap in.
Okay. I was wondering because like I feel like that's another thing. If he's misfiring again, I don't know. I would have much rather gone up again. Y'all were playing against Leicester?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have taken Leicester, Coventry, United, or Liverpool. Well, we're dealing with Chelsea right now. I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
got
think
you
if
don't know what you're gonna get.
we beat City, I think we're winning the whole thing. But that's just me.
I think y'all have Sterling and Cole Palmer, and there's this like they understand how we move the spaces, and they understand and they know how to get themselves and how to put themselves in the right place. And on top of that, Cole Palmer he's a cut player in the sense that when it's a knockout game, he'll score a goal, he'll get an assist. That's just what he does.
Goal and assist last
Yeah,
game.
28 goals and
Yo,
assists.
shout out to Mudryk, man. Hell of a game. Hell of a game.
Yeah.
He's coming into his own slowly. I like the confidence.
Yeah.
Just Poch, just play him. Play the guy, man. Just play him.
Build on his confidence.
Yeah.
Facts. I feel like you guys are almost there. I really like what I see from Cole Palmer. I think
Yeah.
I think Cole Palmer is actually better than a lot of players that we kind of hold up in a certain light. But yeah, man. So what do we have?
Well, we kind of talked about all the games. So it's Champions League draw.
Yeah, Champions League draw, man. Who'd you guys get? You guys got
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. So yeah, let's just talk about that very briefly.
There's
before you go, I just want to say, Man City, Real Madrid. I feel like you guys have had some really interesting Champions League ties.
Yeah,
like dating back since I remember. Was it maybe not Pellegrini, but I just remember even when you guys had Sane, like Aguero and them teams. I feel like you guys always kind of came up against them.
There's something about them that brings it out of us. And you're right, it was Pellegrini, because when our first time playing them wasn't against Pellegrini. And I remember everybody just saying like, oh, Real Madrid it was Ronaldo, Real Madrid, Benzema, Real Madrid, Bale. Yeah. And everybody was like, you guys are gonna get smacked. And it ended up 1-0 across two legs. And it was an own goal by Fernando that they got in. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, fuck them, Real Madrid. They ain't doing nothing. I was like, ain't nothing to me. And it's just like, and there's this kind of like, no one can listen. I'm not comparing the clubs, their history. Real Madrid is the greatest club. There's nothing to say about it. But but our head-to-heads, we meet them eye to eye on the pitch every time. We don't back down. We're not scared of them or how they show up. And I think last season, when we got them with that 4-0 at home, Valverde said that was the hardest stadium he ever played in was the Etihad, the one that everyone talks about and says all these things. That's like that's the stadium that Real Madrid players are worried about. I'm not worried about them. They can beat us, but it's just like I know we're gonna make it competitive. I honestly think that Bellingham is a big difference maker in this than from last year. But there's something about this where it's like that 4-0. If we get our most of our team back with especially with Grealish back in the squad, we get Alvarez playing more regularly. We get not more regularly, but just playing in that squad as well. I think we're going to keep this momentum going because right now our head-to-head, we beat them. We beat them more than we've lost against them. So
I was gonna say because you guys I mean it's definitely an interesting matchup. I'm curious to think, why do you think Bellingham will be the X factor? Because you got some pretty good midfielders yourself. So
they were slow in the midfield last year. Like they couldn't keep up with us, and they were getting so tired. And you throw in a guy like Bellingham that also doesn't get tired and can still score a goal. There were so many times where we were just playing around Cruz and Modric and their old legs, and they just couldn't catch us. And so when you throw Bellingham, when we played against him in BBB, he was the reason why we barely scraped past them. He scored against us twice. So I do think, and now you got KDB has gone down a little bit. He's a little bit more tired, and then you're bringing up Bellingham, who's on an upswing. It's tighter game than last year, but I still think we're gonna eke it out. It's gonna be good though.
So I hate to break this to you, Solo, but I think this is where the road ends for you guys. I think this is a different Madrid team, to be honest.
Yeah.
Apart from Chelsea, I think I've watched Real Madrid a lot this year, and I don't see a lot of holes. I don't know what you guys think, but
Yeah, I mean
they don't really have a lot of holes. Like,
and the crazy
and-
thing is, and I thought maybe them not having a 9 at some point would be like, but it's like, yeah, I think Vinny. I mean, I think firmly Vinny makes a firm like debate for best player in the world.
yeah.
I don't even think that it's close, in my opinion. I mean, I think it's close. I think that there's maybe one
I
other
mean,
person that I would
Mbappe
say.
is still in there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I
Jude had
think
a great season.
him and
You still
Mbappe.
put
But I think,
Haaland in the conversation, you know.
yeah. But I think consistently him and
Vinny's
Mbappe.
scary. Yeah.
But yeah, I
So
mean, yeah,
does the winner of this game win Champions League? Do you guys think
I
the
think
winner
so.
is going to come from this game?
Because
Yeah.
I think the
This
first
like
or second
matchup
best team is this.
Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
matchup system, like we can't be getting Real Madrid this early. Like that's a game, that's a matchup
Yeah.
we should be getting later on. And and the
Semifinals,
thing,
finals, yep.
yeah, the thing that's interesting is that City has been accused of getting easy draws, but the last two
Oh
seasons,
yeah.
we've got some of the hardest draws. We had to go through Bayern, we had to go through Madrid.
Yeah, but look at your
you know,
team. It's all relative. It's all
Yeah,
relative.
Yeah,
but even
yeah.
this
Look at your
season,
team.
You're built for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're
we're
built
going
for it.
against Chelsea. We're going against Real Madrid. We're probably going to end up going against Bayern, depending who ends up making it through that. I just know that we have another tough road ahead of us to get to the end of the year. But this is the competition where I'm like, the Premier League feels really difficult to pull away from Arsenal or Liverpool right now. There's this like kind of Cinderella thing going on with Liverpool.
So I don't want to hear this, man. This is the one thing I didn't want to hear from a City fan. What do you mean the Premier League?
It's
Bro,
just
I
like,
swear I have this feeling Pep is gonna give it to what do you call it? Arteta. I swear I have a feeling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
he
gonna
will.
be like winning.
He's
Bro,
not-
I swear I have a feeling.
yeah, he's
And I
not
don't want
going
it to
to.
happen. Like, it's crazy.
He's
well,
not going. Oh, you mean like give him the title?
Yeah, like, maybe focus on, Champions League, and then I don't know, but
No, but I just feel like they have.
I don't
well,
think you're going through in Champions League, so you'll be fine in the league. That's what I think.
Solo sounds shook. No, I'm just saying. I think to your point though, I think City or Real Madrid, if they would beat everybody else in the Champions League. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're getting matched up together, I think, helps out everybody else. Maybe not them. I would love to see this in a final, but yeah.
I want to ask you guys about that Inter Atletico game.
Yeah.
Because we spoke on it a little bit, last week. We talked about how we all want to pick Atletico, but
I don't like Atletico, man.
we all went with Inter, but we wanted to pick Atletico, and then Atletico pulls it off.
Yeah. No,
Atletico plays
How much
dirty.
time do they have? Do you guys think they can go far?
No, it's just the same. It's the thing with Atletico. Though. I think Atletico is a great tournament team. I think Simeone always has them. I mean, like they defend well. They're a hard team to beat. So over the course of 2 legs, like you're not going to score like that many goals on them. Well, I say that because I mean Barcelona actually put up 3-0 on them over the weekend. So they yeah. Aside from that, like over the course of 2 legs, like they're not really conceding goals. So they're our team to beat home and away. But
you have to beat them at your home. You can't expect to
to.
win at their home. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you get goals on them at your home, you can take that.
That's exactly what Chelsea did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough place to play. You can't don't expect to go there and just get your shit off. It's not about to just happen. But
and Inter has been one of the most consistent teams too in Europe. So
yeah,
it's a big win.
but they also got like different. Like they have a. I feel like Atletico, like they've always had like one solid, maybe two solid attackers, but I feel like now they have like a solid three. I think like
Yeah.
Memphis coming off the bench definitely gives them like a different look, and like
Mhm.
I think that's where he
Even
kind of
Morata, even Morata, he does a
yeah,
job for them.
yeah, him, Morata, Griezmann, and then
Yeah.
whenever what's his name
Correa,
plays too,
Correa comes on.
yeah, yeah,
They're
Correa, and
always the
there's a
bridesmaid, never
younger
the
guy
bride.
too,
That's the thing.
yeah.
They're always a bridesmaid, never the bride. They'll get through this. They'll get a couple wins. I think Dortmund was a good draw for them, but whoever after
Another
that,
bridesmaid, another bridesmaid,
yeah, yeah, it's the
yeah.
bridesmaid
The
battle.
battle of the bridesmaids.
Those
They
two
got
are
to come.
always like we'll get to the final, you know.
Mhm.
How we were talking about last week, like, oh, Chelsea's in the final again. It's just kind of like they're
They'll
the
do it.
same thing. It's like, you know, yeah. Simeone plays smash and grab football, in and out. Very simple.
Hate
And
playing,
I
But
swear, bro.
hate playing Atletico in particular because they do not care about what we're like. They're the most aggressive team. They're the most like, in my opinion, one of the most like
You,
disrespectful at times too.
bro,
They
you,
will.
you know, one of my biggest beefs with them.
Uh,
I feel like they're only good at home, for real, for real.
yeah.
Like Atletico on the road is just like it's a different team. But when
yeah,
they play at home, yeah, they're tough to beat.
quickly, two more. Let's talk about PSG Barcelona.
That's a good one. I love that.
That has a
Wow,
lot.
love that.
Low key, it has a few storylines.
Yeah.
Mbappe, playing against the ops.
Yeah.
You could really win over some fans. If you could knock out Barcelona in the Champions League.
Even before you come in.
Yeah, Ousmane Dembele coming back, playing against
Mhm.
his old team. But yeah, who do you guys think advances over the
That's
two
tough
legs there?
because Barcelona has been on a kind of upswing now. They've been getting themselves back in form. Gundo's firing, Lewandowski's firing. I mean, Lamine Yamal, he's still doing what every week I hear about the youngest person to do this. I'm like, dang, bro,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
need you relax
I
like
know.
every time. So I think with PSG though, the thing is it's all Mbappe all the time.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they really need to Koundé and them really needs to. It's pretty much it all depends on how good Barcelona defend. They defend well.
I agree. Mhm.
Barcelona gets through.
I agree with you, but there's this man called Kylian Mbappe,
Yeah.
and I'm putting all my stocks that I had in Ronaldo on this Kylian
I
Mbappe.
feel you. Yeah, we're
He's
just
the next one.
transferring that over.
Like I'm just putting all of that in his basket, and
yeah.
I think what he's done for PSG this season is really flying under the radar. Like
Yeah.
because of AFCON, I got Bean. So now I'll be throwing League One
Yeah.
games on, and I've gotten to see some of their games, and like you said, it's literally all Mbappe.
Mhm.
If they defend and they keep Mbappe from scoring, I think Barca moves on. But the way he's been playing this year, bro, his finishing, it's giving me Ronaldo like 2012 vibes. Like we're not missing anything.
Feels
Like
inevitable. It just
Yeah.
feels inevitable.
yeah,
Yes.
like it's
Yeah.
just I'm putting
He's
all
just
my
scared.
stocks in Mbappe, man. I'm hoping for at least a semifinal. Like
Yeah.
because
I mean,
PSG, like I feel like they need to understand who they have before he leaves.
it's this
They're
season.
not gonna see this again for
Yeah,
a while.
you're not.
Like I
Never.
want him to take them a little far so that he can put that respect on his name. But after
Yeah.
this year, I don't see them really doing anything. So I want to see a little story there for him too before he leaves. But
Yeah,
No,
he
I
has like
agree.
he has a
Anyway,
chance
so-
to. Like, if he gets past Barcelona with that's the funny thing. When I talk about
Yeah.
PSG, I'm talking about Mbappe. It's like so when Mbappe plays against
Yeah,
Barcelona,
yeah.
like, if he
It's like
gets
Mbappe
past,
in the cast, especially
bro,
now. Especially now
now,
with
yeah.
Neymar and Messi and all them gone. Yeah.
bro,
Mhm.
if Mbappe gets past Barcelona and Atletico gets past Dortmund, then he has another chance to make friends and fans by beating. Like he's going up against all of Real Madrid's
Spanish
rivals.
teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the last game,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would love to see him in the final versus Real Madrid. The
Oh,
ultimate,
yeah.
like,
We
yo,
need
bro.
that. We need
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like that would be no, and that's the thing. And I was just thinking about this as you said that. You know, like when you look back, first of all, I just want to double down on the fact of I just wanted to double down on the fact of I think this is PSG's best year and best opportunity to win the Champions League. Even though they went to the final during COVID, other than that, I feel like this is definitely their best shot. But I also just think, isn't it crazy how when he came here, what was that? When did Neymar come and Mbappe come? They came at the same time, 2017.
17, 18, 18? So 18, 17 sounds right.
Yeah.
So then, like, isn't it interesting how, like, at that time, like, he was up and coming from Monaco, like, this was like his big move. This is Neymar's move away from, being the understudy to the main guy. And it's just like you look now and it's like, wow. Now we're at the end of that cycle. We've seen everything that's happened. Now everybody else is gone and he's still here. And now he's about to leave too.
Mhm.
Like it's just so wild, man.
There's a
It's
reason
so
why
wild.
the president of France, Macron, and them, or prime minister,
Yeah.
excuse me, France, and I think the Qatar Emirati or something, both
Yeah.
wanted to meet with him. They were about to offer this man the Eiffel Tower, 20% baguette sold. They were about to get all of Marseille. But they're doing
messed up.
everything they can.
You know
They
what I
messed up.
feel about that though? I feel like you've had a lot of years with him. Like,
Yeah.
You have
what
more
is this,
than
like,
you,
entitlement
more
coming
than
from
most
that? Oh, he
places.
has to stay. It's like, bro, I gave you a lot. He's given them a lot.
No,
That's
his
one
mean-
thing you can say about Mbappe. He showed
they
up for
just-
PSG a lot.
They want him to give him a Champions League. That's the one parting
Yeah,
gift that they want. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to deliver. I mean, this is his
The
last year
final
to
would
do
be
it.
dope. The final against,
I
Madrid
don't
would
be
be
dope, but
yeah.
I don't see. I don't know if they get past Atleti. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I think they're
I
gonna.
don't
If
know.
they get past Barca and
Or-
Atleti moves on, they're getting past them.
I
I
don't
think-
know. I don't know if they like Barca. I
Mbappe?
can see them getting past. I can see them
No.
getting past Barca. I really can. But Atleti,
La
I
Remontada.
don't
Atleti's like a good
know.
sound team. You know who
I
Atleti
don't
reminds me
know.
of? Atleti reminds me a lot of Argentina. And I'm with Mike. All those eggs that I had in Ronaldo's basket, I'm moving those over right into this guy's basket because
Literally.
100%, bro. What I saw in that World Cup final, he can do it by himself.
Sold.
I don't need that.
That was one of the things where
I was
I've never-
literally just thinking about that. We
I've
saw
never
that
seen
World Cup
team
final,
Yeah,
and we have doubts who the next guy is. Come on, man.
Nah, it's
I've never
definitely
seen a
him.
team lose and still be like, "Dang!" Like that's that. Like, I remember thinking, I was like, with Mbappe, I was like, "Whoa!"
Loki had a hat trick in the World Cup final. And
In the
then,
last 30 minutes, like that's come on.
Crazy. I don't know.
but at
though.
least PSG. Yeah, go ahead, Gabriel.
No, I'm just saying I don't know. He is crazy. Don't get it twisted, but I just don't. Atletico Madrid, I have seen them time it. Like these are the tournaments, bro. Like Simeone
Yeah,
lives for
sure.
this. This Atletico team is special too. Griezmann on the tear, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Me
I don't
as
know.
well.
French on French violence is making me sick. If they got fucking Griezmann going up against
Yeah,
black on black
that'd be
violence,
crazy.
Griezmann versus Mbappe, I don't need
yeah,
it.
bro.
I
But
know,
yeah, man.
I
I
know-
mean,
Yo,
yeah.
Arsenal though. Let's talk Arsenal Bayern.
I
We
mean,
actually haven't touched on that yet.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the last one.
Let's be real. Let's be real. I've seen a lot said about my team when we drew Bayern. You know, all these memes, Thomas Mueller coming out, Kai Havertz, this and that. And I think it's funny that Bayern Munich thinks that they're going to go against the same guys that they faced 7 years ago, 8 years ago. This is a completely different team with a completely different mentality, with a completely different manager. So I'm excited for the draw. You can, like I said, uh, I think it'll be great. I think the entire draw just shaped out perfectly. If I'm being completely honest, I think we're getting a lot of great matchups um,
Yeah.
with the Champions League in general. But they're not playing the same team now. Granted, this is a great Bayern team. I mean, hands down, top to bottom, they're one of the best teams in the world for sure. But I also believe that we're one of the best teams in the world. So just like City and Madrid have a big matchup, I think that we have an extremely big matchup, and I think that we can get past them. Personally, like I think we can get past them. This is not the
Yeah,
same
dude.
team. This is not the same team, and
I'll say this:
I
Bayern
think
is
it's funny. Wait. I think it's funny that like people are just viewing us. I'm not even. I won't like say too much, but this is not the same team, and
No, it's definitely
I
not.
know I know it's like this is we're trying to get it back in blood. This is a back in blood season for us. I can tell with the mentality of everyone. We lost the title last year. We bottled it. We blew it. Bet let's get it back in blood. We saw
Mm.
Bayern 8 years ago. They smacked us up. The year before that in the Champions League, they smacked us up. Okay, let's go get it back in blood. This is a back in blood season for us, and I do feel confident in our abilities. I feel confident that we will get past them. I think we beat them at the Emirates, and it is tough to play the second leg away from home, but I think we can do it. And
We're gonna
like I
do
said,
this.
and like I said, like I think we're going to win the league. I think we can get past Bayern Munich. I don't know if we get to the final of the Champions League, that's great. You know, the chips can fall where they may, but in this Champions League draw, I think we can beat Bayern Munich, and I'm standing on that. And it is what it is. So you guys can make all the jokes and all the laughs and this and that and the third, but when push comes to shove, um, they have to come there to Emirates and beat us or get a result. And I don't think they can get a result here.
Yeah.
And I expect a goal from Kane, 100%. I expect Kane to probably score 2 to 3 goals within both matches. It's just who he is. He loves scoring against us. I expect that.
Penalty.
But you know, like I said, he's not. This is not the same team. He's not going up against the same players. You know what I mean? And this center back pairing, I'm completely confident in. They've shut down so many center forwards all season. They shut down your favorite center forwards. My right back is amazing. My left back is amazing right now. My midfield is amazing. My strikers and who Kai
Who is
Havertz
your
right
left
now is
back?
doing Kivior doing amazing. He'll lock up anyone too. We play with four center backs at this point.
I wouldn't say he's a mid. I think everybody else is fine.
He's defensively more sound than Zinni, so to me, it's lock up. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot who's coming
No.
in. We got some
And
guys
so-
coming
so-
in, Gabriel.
and we have Timber coming back. Don't get it twisted. I don't even expect to see Timber until April. And April is when these Champions League draws are coming back. Tamiyasu again is coming back. Partey again is coming back. So I'm like I am so excited for this Champions League draw, and the fact that the first one is at the Emirates, I honestly think it puts us in an advantage because we're going to be so up for that draw that I think we do have the opportunity to smack them up at home. I truly think that the first match, the Emirates is going to be rocking. Like we've been waiting on this for time now. For
Yeah.
time, we wanted our get back. It's been 8 years, so give us our chance. And if we blow it, we blow it, sure. But I don't. This is not a team that's looking to blow it anymore. We've already blew it once. We're not blowing it again.
You know,
I'll say this,
logically,
Bayern
ahead.
is I'll say Bayern is the weakest it's been in a long time. So
For
to
sure.
your point, they're not showing up. Like they're also not the same team they were under what was that? Jupp Heynckes or was that Pep? I can't remember who was
Hansi Flick.
Hansi
Oh,
Flick. Yeah,
Nagelsmann.
yeah. So they're
Yeah,
not the
Hansi
same
Flick.
player, the same team they were back then against them. Muller's older. Everyone's a little bit like everything is a little bit off there right now. The only thing that gives them a edge is that it's Kane against Arsenal, which I think does have a
100%. I'll give him that.
benefit. And then two, it's that they're not getting the Bundesliga. And I think they know that. And I think they're in this position right now where they're kind of like they already got knocked out. I think they got knocked out of the DFB Pokal.
Yeah.
They aren't getting the Bundesliga. So the Champions League feels like their last chance. And there's this part where I'm like, all this adds up to is it's going to be a blow for blow type of match. And so I'm here to watch. I'm here to see how it goes because with how Arsenal been firing, it's not going to be 0-0. It's going to be goals left and right. I feel like for this one.
Yeah.
I agree, but this is where I stand. The only not even troubling thing. This is where I'm at. I'm not even gonna talk about the troubling thing first. Eric Dyer has been starting. I don't know if you remember who Eric Dyer is, but Eric Dyer has been starting. That's where my heart is already like, okay, we have we have a chance.
Yeah.
Their center back pairing is not as good as our center back pairing. And the fact that Germans, they love to play high lines. In Germany, the influence, they love to play high lines. That's great because we have a player in Martinelli who loves to run in behind. So, and their right back is Kimmich who inverts. So it's like, to me, it's all matching up to me. The only problem I have right now, honestly, is Kane. And I don't like this matchup with Alphonso Davies and Saka. That is going to be one to watch because, hey yo, like
He's gonna have to come back. You got to
love
respect
Saka.
him.
And that's
Big
what
test
I'm
for
scared
Saka.
about.
I want to see how he does with this guy.
I love Saka, but the work rate is going to needs to be at an
Mhm.
all-time high. Because
Yeah.
not only Davies will lock you up and then go assist, beat two players.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
You got to catch me to it.
it's a
Mhm.
proper left back. Liberian boy. I love Alfonso. That's my guy,
Mhm.
Liberian boy. So that's the matchup I'm really worried about. If I'm being completely honest, it's really just the left-hand side of the field. But I know that with Kimmich inverting so much, he's not going to want to defend Martinelli. The other center back, what's his name? Kim. Honestly, Trinity, you're not wrong. I don't think you're not wrong because I want to say this about Saka too. Like Saka is a very strong, quick player, but when it comes pace for pace, he's not faster than Davies. And I don't know if he's stronger than Davies. I truly don't. That's really going to be a test.
Davies
Like
is
I don't.
strong, yeah.
Saka is strong. Like they're both two African born. Like
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
both strong players, and they're both
Mhm.
distinctly like you don't think they're as strong as they really are. So
They're stronger than they look. Yeah.
yeah, they're stronger than they
Mhm.
look. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to see who wins the battle. And I think it'll go tit for tat, but that's really the only matchup that I'm really worried about. And I honestly am
That's
not.
fair.
I know Kane will score. But Kane can be contained. If we can contain Haaland,
I agree.
and this person and that person,
Yeah.
Saliba and Gabriel can contain Kane. I truly believe that. It's not a Rob Holding thing. It's not
Mhm.
Mustafi, Koscielny. It's not any of that
We
anymore.
got proper men.
We have proper center backs, and then we have Declan Rice to hold. So between those three, Kane, I feel okay with. Like I said before, this is the most comfortable I felt in a long time.
You know what's crazy though? Like
So,
me and Gabriel don't agree much when it comes to Arsenal, but I agree with you a lot on everything. But I think it's going to come down to what you guys do in Munich. That's what it's going to come down to. I think you guys have a probably great first game, but if you can go to Munich and defend and keep them from scoring or like just hold them, I think you win. But it's hard for me to see that. That's the only thing. But I agree with everything you said. I
and that's
think you
why I
can
say
win
it.
this.
I think I actually like it that the first matches in our favor. I think we have to take advantage, but I think we're going to be up for it because going to Munich in a pressure situation is not ideal. So if we can get out the way, 3-1 win, a win, and just in general, 3-1 win. I hope for like a 3-1, a 2-0 win, something like that. Is something for us to build on and go into Munich and say, okay, we don't have to go in here and score 4 goals, 5 goals. We know we can score off set pieces in multiple different ways. So if we go to Munich and get a goal or 2, we're through. If we take care of business at home and go get a goal or 2 at Munich, most likely we're going to be through. And I'm excited for it, man. April can't come soon enough.
It should be a good one.
I'm not gonna look past, I'm not gonna look past the 31st yet. But I'm excited, for Champions League. I'm excited for all the matches. I think all the matches, we got a perfect quarterfinals. I think we have a perfect quarterfinals. So yeah.
The matchups are gonna be interesting to watch because whoever is gonna be defending Martinelli, if he doesn't bring it, it's gonna be a long night.
But this is the thing though. Kimmich has been playing on this right hand side and inverting just like Zinni does. So go ahead, please do that because pace for pace, if Eric Dyer's on that side, it's over with. The way Upamecano looks, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if Upamecano plays,
he's getting cooked.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's gonna be and that's where I think we beat them on the wings. And as much as I say, Saka, Alfonso Davies will have their battle,
Yeah.
Saka will win at some points, and
Yeah.
Saka only needs a couple chances to put a ball in the box for a Kai Havertz or back post Trossard, Martinelli to go get a goal. So I'm not, like I said, we have shooters everywhere. Declan Rice has 6 goals in the Prem this year. Like I'm really not too. I wouldn't say I'm not worried, but like I feel very confident going into these
Oh yeah,
matches.
you have a
It's
good
not.
chance. You have a
Yeah,
good
I,
chance.
I have. I feel very strongly that we will perform and get through.
Yeah.
And if we see Madrid or City, then we'll talk about that one. Yeah, but I feel very good with Bayern.
Just go to Munich,
almost-
hopefully with a
almost-
win, so you don't
Yeah.
have to
I didn't even say earlier, but Solo, y'all up out of here. I just want to put that up there now.
Yeah,
Solo,
man.
I'm not beating Madrid. It's over.
Nah, listen,
Yeah,
this is the. I
I
mean,
bet
okay,
too.
but real quick though, with Arsenal, whatever happens, I think the one thing, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'm looking for is a fight. Like as long as they put up a good
Listen,
fight on this
we have
team.
Declan Rice. We have
Yeah.
Declan Rice. What? The fight will be there.
The fight,
100%.
as long as the fight's there, that's all.
The fight will be there.
The fight will be there. Trust me.
Because I remember watching the game. That was like that was how long ago was that? 8 years, yeah. So I was still like about only 3, 4, again, only less than 5 years getting into like watching football like that.
yeah.
I just remember thinking about, it's like, wait, Arsenal was like up there with United of teams that people were like telling me, getting me like letting me know when I was learning about the sport, like. And I was just like, yo, I was scared of Bayern for a while after that. I was like, yo, I don't want to play against this team.
That's crazy, bro. Because I remember back in
2013.
2013.
We watched it with Comey.
Yeah. But I remember Solo, you were in town in Miami. And I just remember.
No way. Solo, you came to Miami?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, he came to visit.
No way. Wow. I bet I was probably gone by then.
Yeah.
But no, I think I think you may have been there, Mike. He was there. You were there for a weekend, but I just remember talking city with you, and just remember thinking at the moment, like, wow, like this was year 1 with David Moyes, and like just really just kind of going through like the motions there, and just seeing like City's ascension, and here I am 11 years later. And it's just like,
still,
wow.
Yeah.
City has won a treble.
It's so funny.
Like, it's crazy. Like the year that you guys won the Champions League, oh, you won the treble.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I even forget that like that whole thing that was on you guys' back. Oh, you've never won a Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, well, we won the treble. So
I'll tell you right now.
One of the trophies was off your back.
Yo,
don't forget that. One of the trophies was
that treble documentary is coming out April 2nd on Netflix. I'm there.
Look at these guys.
I'm there.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching.
I took
Nobody's watching. Yeah, nobody's watching.
115 charges, Solo. It's coming.
Yeah. I want to see that documentary. Yeah. When they strip you of this treble, I can't wait. What charges?
There is no war in Bossing Say. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you guys before we left. We're well into the season now. Obviously, going into the season, there was a lot of things that we probably had anticipated or predicted. So I just wanted to go around and ask you guys, what's one thing? Young Trinity says the lowest views in Netflix history. Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. But what's one thing that you guys got wrong at the beginning of the season? So something that you thought at the beginning of the season was gonna go this way, but here we are, March 18th, and that wasn't the case.
I'll go first. Actually,
it could be about your team or someone else's team.
Okay. Okay. So both. Okay. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'll start. I was gonna say the one from my club was gonna be Um, I I thought the experience with Andre Onana would be a little bit different than, than how it started. We're fine now. I think that he's kind of found his form. I've kind of accepted like who he is as a keeper, and I definitely like see his strengths, but definitely got that one wrong. Um, and then I'm trying
I
to
have a
think.
lot for you guys. I have a lot.
I
What
would
I
say,
got wrong, I thought
yeah,
Nkunku was gonna, bag at least 10 goals for Chelsea.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
I
yeah.
got
Nah,
that wrong. I didn't
Sancho,
think what? Oh, Sancho.
Sancho's not even on my team right
He
now.
started off the
Like,
season well, scoring against Liverpool, all that. But
yeah, but I just thought, after last year, having to take that little break that you had to take, the manager looking
mhm,
out for you. This is what you pull this year. You're not even on the team. You're in the
mhm.
Champions League of a semifinal of Champions League. That's
Crazy.
crazy. Yeah, because of our
Quarterfinals,
keeper.
not semifinals yet.
Quarters,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say for my team, I was thinking we were gonna have kind of a with Doku. I was thinking we were gonna have kind of like a Holland type of first season because I actually watched a few like I watched like when we were getting linked with him. I watched one or two games of him at Rennes, and I knew he wasn't like scoring like that, but there was just something I was just like, oh yeah, he got the pace, the dribbling, all that stuff. So I was expecting more from him, but that's all good. For another team, I'll be honest, I thought Tottenham would be where Chelsea is right now. I did not expect Spurs to be at number 5. I mean, same with Aston Villa, but I
Mhm.
was really thinking that Spurs would be, um,
yeah,
yeah, struggling. But the fact that they figured it out with Madison and Ange Postecoglou, like being one of the best coaches of this season,
Mhm.
was also a big surprise. So,
Yeah.
um, if you would have told me that Pochettino coming in, getting this kind of young team in order and getting them up to top 6 or top 5, that would have been
yeah,
more believable than I think seeing Spurs without Kane, the guy that's been saving them forever, being number 5 and potentially number 4 in time.
Yo, another one. Luton Town might be safe.
They might, yeah, that reduction by Nottingham
Luton
Forest.
Town might be safe. They're out of relegation right now.
Honestly, they low key
Yeah,
deserve
yeah.
it too. They low key deserve it.
So that's one we
love
definitely got wrong. Aston Villa, even West Ham.
yeah.
I didn't think Kudus was gonna hit the ground running like this. Like I just didn't
Crazy.
see it. But
You talking
I
because
about
would
I
like
mean,
say,
as a Chelsea fan, I look at all the guys in front of us. The only team that like I'm not impressed with of why they're in front of us is Wolves, Newcastle, and Brighton. Those teams shouldn't be ahead of us, but they are. The other teams, I feel like they deserve it. But
I would say for my team, I got this wrong. And I would even say the gap is really not that big between these two players. But I
6
think,
million about.
oh, for sure. But I think in certain areas the gap is so large that
Mhm,
that's why this person isn't starting anymore. But Raya
mhm.
he's decent. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm starting to open up my
Hey,
heart.
That's
My
a good
heart is
point.
starting to get open up.
there you
Um,
go.
our heart is starting to open up. Because he's bailed us out a couple of times. And he's been consistent. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was shaky in the beginning. It was a little shaky.
mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. But now I'm starting to see why we loaned to buy you. Um, and he's
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotten
you're,
out.
you're gonna buy him for sure. How
Oh
how
no,
much
for
is
sure.
he?
yeah,
How much
Like
is it?
23 million or something
Yeah,
like that.
you're definitely buying.
Um, yeah, and
yeah.
or it's like 20, 25 to 30, something like that. I forgot exactly the number,
Yeah,
but
there's not a lot
you
of
know,
good keepers out there right now. So
yeah, no, and we have I still, even despite his mistake, Ramsdale the last match, I still think Ramsdale is a great keeper. Don't get it twisted. But
Yeah, good backup. Yeah,
I think when certain things like, oh, I can't focus for 90 minutes,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and Raya's like, I'm so focused in the match. I think you don't have mistakes like you have.
I'm so
Um,
focused in the match. Like,
yeah,
wow, that's like
I
keeper saying that.
as a keeper, you need to be at an all-time focus because you might not have action for 30 minutes and then it might be crazy for 5 minutes. So that's where you can't
Yeah.
really lose focus. And you have mistakes like that. And lucky enough, we're a good enough team to be able to bounce back from things like that. But what if we weren't? Like that was
Yeah.
almost the difference between
Last
not
year.
having first place. Like that's very. And like I said, last year he was amazing. I can't even,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah.
can't say anything bad. And he, like I said, even Brentford, he bailed us out twice. Tony almost scored a crazy one from half. He bailed us out on the header. So it was great by him. But my heart is definitely open up to David Raya for sure. He's a proper, looking like a proper goalkeeper right now. So that's my one that honestly kind of shocked me.
I thought of one. Caicedo for me. Ooh. Y'all
Yeah.
remember it the whole
I'm
this summer. I'm like, oh, that's the one guy we need. That's the one guy.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by him.
We got him, and it's like slowly. It's just like a slow grind, but he's coming around. He's coming around.
And honestly, one team that shocked me this season, and I didn't think they'd be where they're supposed to be or where they're at right now. And honestly, I still think it's fraudulent of where they're at right now. But it's Manchester United. I did not expect you guys to be
I
sixth.
agree.
And I didn't expect you to be anywhere near you might sneak into a top 4 race if you play your cards right. Somehow, some way, you could literally sneak into a top 4 race because Villa and Spurs are both blowing it. And I don't know how you're doing it. I still think you guys are super frauds. It's super frauds. You guys have less goals than Luton Town. It still makes zero sense to me on how you're 6th place.
What?
Now, how your 6th place makes no sense to me.
I 1000% agree with you.
This run has to be. I don't know. I need a documentary.
Has to be steady.
Hey,
absolutely, I agree with you.
You've been consistently inconsistent, and it's
All
gotten
season.
the job done. It's really
It's
gotten the job done.
favorable.
I still don't know how your goal differential is even, and you are
Zero.
in place.
Perfect balance.
This is insane to me.
It's favorable.
That's my one shocker. That's my one shocker, honestly. That's my one shocker.
I mean, I feel like the most obvious one is obviously Aston Villa. We saw glimpses of it at the end of the last season, but
Yeah.
4th place, bro, that's wild.
It is wild, but they got the professional, man.
King Unai.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
You give that man a middle place team or he's got it, man. That's what he does. He's not going to lead a team like Arsenal to the glory, but he will lead. Like, man, put him in Brighton or some other team, he would have done the same thing. That's just he don't like it when there's too much attention.
Bro, people forget though, like Unai Loki, the most winning Europa League coach. Like he's won a lot of Europa League trophies.
But it's a Europa League. That's what's so funny.
I know exactly.
So perfectly because it's just like, of course, it's a Europa League that you're going crazy in. But I know he's sick when in the Europa Leagues when the next season when he have to go in the Champions League. Like, bro, just let me stay here. I don't want
let me go back. Take me back.
Take me back.
Aston Villa's still in Conference League, so possibly have a chance to get some type of European, hardware or but I don't know, man. I think that definitely has to be Chelsea. How bad Chelsea's been. I think that's the biggest one. I don't think we all expected them to be back at 10th. We all assumed we will actually be between like 6th, 7th, 8th, around there. But like 11th?
Where's my first?
I remember your prediction. You had us at 10th. I remember that.
Yeah, I predicted this. I predicted this. I knew this was coming. Don't put me in the conversation.
One of my Arsenal friends messaged me today, and he just sent me a screenshot. And I couldn't believe myself. You know what the screenshot said?
What?
I said, I'll bet you $100 Chelsea finishes above Arsenal. And I was like, damn. He's like, I hope you didn't forget this. I was like, oh my God. I was so off of it.
I beg your pardon.
Off the sauce.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about that. I was like, oh my God.
I saw this coming from a mile away, and no one wanted to believe me or no one wanted to hear me out. And y'all laughed at me. But here we are, and you guys are 10th. You're 11th right now. You're not even 10th. You're 11th.
More
So,
standings FC. You got to still put more standings to see.
Yeah.
The with Aston Villa, the other part too is I'll say I did not expect this title race to be what it is. This is crazy to me.
That's
It's
true.
still going down to the wire, and if Aston Villa is only 8 points off top, that's crazy. Like there's not that much of a difference. I mean, this title is crazy.
It is. I didn't expect
Yeah,
this
man.
either, to be honest.
Let's get into shout outs. Shout outs and let's get out of here. My shout outs is very simple. My shout out is Manchester United Football Club. My shout out is Jurgen Klopp. My shout out is Eric Ten Hag, my manager. My manager, Eric Ten Hag.
How many
Shout
hags you are on right
I'm
now?
on Ten Hag. I'm on 10. I'm back on
No.
10 Hog. I was never 10 Hog out, but nah, I'm back on 10.
You're
back
back
on
at
10.
5 right now. You're back at
Yeah,
5.
you're
I'm
back
back
on
on
10.
10. A win like this over
Yeah, it brought you from like 0 to 5.
over the fat
Yeah.
chamber. Over the fat chamber. Yeah. We got a big win over the fat chamber. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is, I think, is ridiculous, by the way. The biggest, Jose said he was a special one. This is the complaining one. Always. Always the crying one. The crying one. The complaining one. Always, man. Ah, man. Yeah, man. Tell him, young Trini. Glory, glory, man United. I don't know why you're at Ten Hog out. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. Trini, tell me who you want right now. Type it in the chat. Type it. Who do you want?
But anyways, my shout out is to what'd you call him? Malo Gusto. De Gusto, Malo Gusto.
Did he get
Best
called
right
up?
back in the league.
Did he get called up to France?
He's coming up. Come on, we'll be there in the Euros. Just
already
wait
got
on
it.
it. We're coming.
Did he get called up to this team though?
He's 20. He's U23. He'll get called up.
So he didn't
Chill
get
out,
called.
chill
Okay,
out,
he didn't
chill
get
out.
called up.
Oh,
Chill
my.
out.
He's not even
Okay,
on the
okay.
senior team? I thought he was on the
He's not even
senior team.
team. Listen,
He's not
man,
even
you
on the
talk about the
senior
best
team?
right back in the league. And if you would have asked me, the best right back in the league is probably on the best team in the league right now. This will be real. Let's be real.
Please.
Wait,
Let's
who's
be
Francis
real.
right back? Who is Francis right back?
It doesn't
Kunde.
matter. It's not Malo
Jules
Gusto.
Kunde.
Oh,
He said it's
not
not
Malo
Malo
Gusto.
Gusto. It's Kunde.
yeah, it is Kunde.
What?
Wow.
Listen, please my shout out. My shout out is to Ben White because one, we don't mess with Southgate. I respect you. Two, all this slander when we bought Ben White for $50 million. All of this slander, all of it, and he has been one of the most consistent right backs since he has joined our team. So my shout out is to Benny Blanco White. We appreciate you. We love you, man. And I'll put him up there as one of the best right backs in the world right now.
Gabriel, you can tell Yasser.
Right now,
Yeah,
playing right now, current moment. Yes. 100%.
Yeah, Yasser sent us a text that said between Ben White, Wesley Fofana for Chelsea, and Rafael Varane. And here I am today, and I can tell you that my center back hasn't won a trophy.
He's still not better than Ben White. It's still crazy. He's not at either position. So like, that's sure. But cool. We're gonna get a trophy. We might get two this year. Who knows?
Yeah.
If Arsenal gets a trophy, I can show my face. It's gonna be a long summer.
Trust me,
It's
Mike,
gonna be a
long
long
summer.
summer.
It's a long summer.
What?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long summer, Mike. Summer
That's
24.
literally been
you'll
my
never
only
forget it.
thing. Arsenal not winning anything. So far, I just need one more. I just need them out of one more. And then we'll manage the Premier League. Just one more. And then
He said, well, manage it.
I can't wait. I can't wait. This summer is going to be a legendary summer. Oof. Great summer.
I'll say my shout out, Stefan Ortega. He's Ederson stat was out for a bit.
Yeah.
still be out, I think, coming back, and he's he's surprised me, and he's stepped up. And it's not the best shout out, it's not the greatest shout out, but just the fact that 2
I feel
games
you.
now, he's been good. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. He deserves it. Young Trini said, I need to see the structure first, but I'll take Shabby, but it will never happen. Shabby Alonso is never coming to us. I feel you. I think it'd be great, but Shabby Alonso does not mess with us. Trust me.
How about to get
He's
Nagelsmann?
definitely picking Liverpool over United.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
No.
If he doesn't pick Bayern. But yeah, man.
Nagelsmann is coming to United.
No, Nagelsmann, I'm cool on him too. Man, we got our manager, man. We got. I want the guy who just beat Klopp. I want that guy. Yeah, I like that guy. But yeah, man, good stream, guys. Appreciate everybody.